In the last few videos, we explored what happens with the business side of both American Express and Chase, but only one card stood out based on the numbers, and this is the Platinum. Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, we're talking about credit cards, points, finances, and travel. If this is something that interests you, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, the YouTube algorithm is no joke, so every like, every subscribe really does help. So lately we explored credit cards from 4 different issuers on the personal side and 2 on the business side. We saw American Express and we saw Chase, and we also did American Express on the personal side. The one card that came first in both cases was the American Express Platinum in both sides. And I wanted to dig a little deeper and in a little more detail. But without any further ado, let's jump to the presentation and come back to wrap it up. The current offer for the vanilla version is 150,000 points after spending 6,000 in 6 months. There's the standard credits, 179 on Clear, 200 on hotels, 240 on digital entertainment, 300 on Equinox, $200 on Uber, 200 on travel, 100 on global entry, TSA pre-global entry, $100 on Saks, and 155 for Walmart subscriptions. On the memberships, we have Marriott and Hilton Gold, Hertz Gold, National Emerald, and Avis Preferred. On the lounge access, we have the Centurion, all the American Express lounges around the world that are not called Centurion, but they are American Express. Priority Pass, Sky Clubs by Delta and Airspace. On the multipliers, we have 5x on hotels and 1x on everything else. And the return on spend based on the 1.5 cents per point evaluation. I decided to bring this a little up because we did last time on the business side 1.5, and I think that's fair. It's a middle ground between my experience and most of your guys' experience. So 1.5, and the return on spend is crazy, 52%. This is by far the best by any credit card, even those that don't have any annual fees. Crazy. The business side, 120,000 points after spending 15,000 in 3 months. Unless you have a business or you're a big spender, yeah, I mean, even the credits are different in this case. We have $200 airline credit, 179 on Clear, $100 TSA pre, and then there's 35 points back for first, business, and select airline. So whenever you select your airline or the preferred airline for the year, every time you buy tickets, you're gonna get 35% points back. And then the credits for some could be more useful. $400 on Dell, that's 200 the first 6 months and 200 on the second 6 months. $360 on Indeed, $150 on Adobe, $120 on wireless. I can see these credits being used by somebody that really does use this as a business credit card. To me, these are all very useful. It has exactly the same memberships and lounge access, so with the vanilla version. And then the return on spend is 21%, and this is due to the huge spending requirement that it has, 15,000. I mean, you can get both the Charles Schwab and the vanilla for less spending. So you can spend 12,000 and you're gonna get 250,000 instead of 120,000. So the Charles Schwab, 100,000 points after spending 6,000 in 6 months. Everything else is exactly the same as the vanilla version, and the return on spend is 41%. So incredible values, both of them. I mean, for the first year, as I always say, if you can hit the minimum spend even on the business, it does worth it. And if you really use it as business, you can always get value out of it. Now, for the second year, we see that without the sign-up bonus, it's really all about the credits and the multipliers. And what we see is that the return on spend, both on the vanilla and the Charles Schwab, is 10%, and on the business is 8%. Asterisk here, you could potentially get a whole lot more value on the business side if you really use it as business, if you really spend a lot of money on it. That 35% points back could be invaluable. If you have if you travel a lot for your business, 35% every time. That's a lot of money. And then you have that 1.5 for some business categories, but it's for big spending, 5,000 or more. So it's a little complicated. If you are really have an active business that has a lot of spending, this could be great. Now keep in mind that the return on spend here is based on our regular spending, $12,000 equally spent between travel, gas, groceries, and restaurants. And this might not be the case for a business credit card, but want to keep everything equal here. So for the first year, the best credit card is really the vanilla version. The second is the Charles Schwab version, and the third is the business based on return on spend. And then for the second year, we see that the Charles Schwab is first, second is the vanilla, and third is the business. And I have the Charles Schwab as first, even though they have the same return on spend, because you have the option for cash back on the Charles Schwab. You can really have a Charles Schwab account and get 1.1 cents per point, use them as cash to invest, but you could really just transfer the points, make the money, and really pull them out. So it's basically like cash. So it gives you that option that the vanilla doesn't. Like the vanilla, comparing to the Charles Schwab version, it gives 0.6 cents per point for cashback, and the other one is 1.1 cents per point. So it's almost double. There's no question that regardless of which one you think is the right for you, you can't go wrong. 8% is the minimum you can expect from these credit cards. I would also argue that even if you take some credits on the personal credit cards, the Charles Schwab and the vanilla version, you can still get a solid 8%. At first, I had this theory that, I'm not gonna add spending just to hit the credits and then try to justify the credit card. But I realized I am that kind of spender. I love getting that Saks Fifth Avenue credit. I love buying colognes. I love giving gifts to my wife. So I use that credit always. And then on top of that, there's all the other credits like the Uber credit. You can always use the Uber credit. Even if you see it as a free lunch every now and then, it's still something. Everybody wants to have at least once a month a lunch. So they're very useful credits. That's not really is the Equinox. I do have the Equinox $300 on the numbers that you just saw. So that 10% potentially could be 9, 8 for you. But still, it's a very solid credit card regardless. And needless to say that the Platinum is the ultimate prestige credit card, especially when you are talking about credit cards that not invite only. That's not important for everyone, but I know it's for some. But that's all for today. Let me know if you have the Platinum, if you're planning to get a Platinum, and which of these would be the most suitable for your needs. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, ciao.